I'm Dwayne Caraway. Welcome to the other side. Today, this evening, tomorrow, all month, all year, we're dealing with the king of all kings. We're dealing with Mr. DEWBERRY. He's not just anybody. This is DEWBERRY. Dude, welcome to the other side, doctor.
It's an honor. It's an honor.
Y'all, we come in and say it's an honor. Now, why is it such an honor with the other side and Dwayne Caraway?
Because one thing about it is you reach levels that everybody only can imagine reaching. And, you know, if people know about our city, they'll know who you are, what you're about, and what you stand for. So we all can sit around and play, but when you've been there and done it, it's a different ball game. So it's always an honor to be amongst people that done really did it.
Well, I appreciate it, and it's an honor for me to be sitting with you and all of the history, all the stuff we're getting ready to talk about, and that little old Charleston White as well. He is something else.
Yeah, exactly.
He's special, but you special too. Let me ask somebody named Big Folk. Who is Big Folk?
A wannabe gangster.
Okay.
Somebody that, you know, that live their life in a make-believe fantasy world. Somebody that wakes up and still trying to prove something to the world, you know. And you know, if you wake up every day and you want to send a message to say I'm a gangster, that means that, you know, you still want to be something.
Okay.
It's a time in your life when you're supposed to come at an age where you're supposed to realize that certain titles don't supposed to go with your name. So if you still trying to put certain titles with your name, then guess what? You's a bozo. You living in a make-believe fantasy world like a whole lot of more people is. And to sum that up, he a nobody.
Where is he from? Where is he?
Chicago. Okay. He from Chicago. You know, he coming to the cycle with the bandman keyboard guy. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Where, you know, they come up with the scamming and they done got them a little money, you know, and they went to buying the jewelry and buying the cars, and you know, they putting out a lifestyle. So when you putting out a lifestyle, that's how they get. That's where they come from. You know what I'm saying? But they some zeros.
Is it a beef with Texas and Chicago, or Dallas and Chicago? Or?
It'll never be.
Okay.
It'll never be. It's just that you have individuals, they try to build a name up in their repertoire off of certain names like Charleston White, Anthony DEWBERRY. So if I say their name on social media, I can get a like, I can get a view. People look at me. So right now we living in a world where it's about likes and views. You know what I'm saying? This is not no real people in Chicago got real problems. They not worrying about big folk. They don't even know who this guy is. You know what I'm saying?
But he talk a lot of smack or something.
Yeah, he just do a lot of talking. He do a whole lot of talking.
Is he somebody we need to put Charleston in the ring with, or you in the ring
No,
with?
they need to put me in the ring with him.
What?
I've been begging. I just been begging for 3. That's all.
You've been begging?
I've been begging for me to get in the ring with big folk. I've been begging. I'm begging.
He ain't respond?
Yeah, he responded. And it ain't the way I wanted him to respond. The way he responded is, oh, I'm rich. Oh, you know, that means you don't want to do nothing. When you respond a certain type of way, you let me know that you don't want to do that. But I'm one of those boys that say, hey, man, listen, let's just get in the ring and just give these people what they want to see.
So they want to see Anthony DEWBERRY and
big
Big
folk.
Folk.
That's what they want to see.
Like they want to see Earl and Crawford.
That's what they want to see. They want to see, but you know the only thing about Earl and Crawford is both of them were dogs. Both of them were some dogs, and they were saying, hey, man, let's make it happen.
Okay.
I'm a dog. I don't know what that is. See, it's a difference.
Between a dog and a puppy.
Yeah, that's a little puppy still trying to figure it out.
They always say, if you can't run with the big dogs, stay on the porch.
Hey man, that's all I'm saying. So that little chihuahua just gonna bark. You hear me? It's a difference. You hear me? Yeah, that pet bull gonna growl. Yeah, but he pulling while he growling. You hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that old, he just over there with no leash on and nothing. Yeah, you know how I go, man. You know how I go, Calway, man. Yeah, man.
Golly. So you the big dog, and he the chihuahua.
Old little chihuahua. A high-paid chihuahua.
A high-paid truck.
He a high-paid chihuahua. Yeah. He know how to bark. Yeah.
Well, listen. Let's do something. Let's talk about Anthony DEWBERRY. Where you from? Where you been? What you like? What's up? You know. Let's go there.
Man, like I said, man, I was born and raised in Dallas, Texas, man. West Dallas to be exact, man. I come up in I always like to tell people I come up in the old era. I come up in the old era where, you know, going to the boys club. You know, I'm a boys club baby.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I grew up in the projects. So my life has always been pretty much based off of poverty, homie. You know, but I never been poor, but I always lived around poverty because I always had a mother, I always had a father. But I stayed with my mother, and we was a family that we never needed nothing. We had everything, but I grew up in an environment where you had to be strong. You had to be tough. It wasn't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You had to be a certain type of way. So I grew up in that era, man, where I got an opportunity to see a whole lot. And I say this all the time, that my mother, my father didn't send me to prison. My neighborhood sent me to prison because I wanted to be a product of my neighborhood, not a product of my house.
Product of your neighborhood. So the environment that you were around
exactly
is what sent you down the road.
It sent me.
Because that's all you saw.
Because that's all I saw. And that's all I wanted to see.
What school did you go to? You went to Pinkston?
I went to Pinkston. I had, matter of fact, when I went to Pinkston, and that's where I went to prison from. You know what I'm saying? So I went to Edison, Carver. You know, I went to everything that got to do with, you know, in West Dallas, you know. So I've been there, and I done seen it all, man. I done seen it all when it come down to what a naked eye shouldn't see. That what got me to the point where I'm at today.
Well, what about Sequoia? What's Sequoia?
I went to Sequoia.
What is Sequoia?
I went to Sequoia for 2 years, then I transferred and went to Carver, because they had number right there with each other.
Yeah, we used to play against Sequoia. They had the ugliest green and orange colors.
Yeah, exactly.
Just so you know.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, how'd you get off in the prison side of things? What was that about?
Well, like I said, I got caught up into the lifestyle.
Okay.
I got caught up into the quote unquote the stigma of West Dallas.
Okay.
You gotta be tough. You gotta stand for this. You gotta stand for that, right? Mm-hmm. So growing up, my whole thing was I wanted to impress the people in my neighborhood.
Okay.
I wanted the older guys to always look at me as saying, yo, he a real one. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he this, he that. So I grew up under them laws. But what really got me into the prison system is I was out clubbing. And, you know, we having a misunderstanding like we all do. Mm-hmm. But the misunderstanding turned violent when we went to the club. Okay. You see what I'm saying? I went to the club, he was there, the guy was there. And I had a partner of mine named Patrick Weatherall. Patrick Weatherall was like my brother. Mm-hmm. That was like my brother, man. And I remember we was sitting in there, A guy got in, wanted to do something to Patrick. Didn't really have a problem with me, but wanted to do something to my partner.
To your partner.
And I live under the law where if I come with you, I'm gonna leave with you.
Right.
If I'm loyal to you, I'm gonna give you 1,000. I left out of there because we were fighting. They got into a scuffle. They had guns. We went outside. Got guns, and it was a shootout. So once I committed my murder, and I got locked up the next day for it. When I got locked up, my mind was already set to accept full responsibility for what I did anyway, even though I know that we was in a battle. It wasn't like I was trying to take something from you. It was, this happened, we got into it, we both were shooting at each other, and I hit you. So I'm the kind of person where it's like, okay, it is what it is. I accept full responsibility for what I did. At a young age, I stood on that. And and it was crazy about it because I want to say 3 weeks later, Patrick ended up catching a murder case.
Okay.
He killed the dude I killed, partner.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So he ended up coming down there. So we ended up going to TYC and everything. So when we ended up going to TYC, I got certified and went to prison, and he came home.
Okay.
So I had to start a whole new journey. But this journey was a little different than that journey. Because now we're dealing with the gang banging lifestyle, and I'm going inside an adult prison system.
How old were you when all this went down?
I was 15.
What was you doing in the club at 15?
Uh,
What was you doing in the club at 15? What was you doing in the club at 15? It's
Trying
okay
to be
now.
grown.
Trying to be grown. A good answer.
Trying to be grown.
I mean, that's real.
Yeah, I was trying to be grown. Like I said, my life was all about impersonation.
Okay.
So I lived my life off of impersonation.
Right.
And that's what I did. Like, okay, where we going? Where we going? To the club.
Okay.
Man, I'm finna go too. You catch mama where she going to bingo.
Okay.
Man, I'm finna go to the club. She ain't gonna be here. So, I found myself going down that journey.
And I'm gonna ask you a couple of things. Well, how you get the guns at 15?
Man, I had a brother that had every gun you can name. You name it, he had it. And one thing I can say about my brother was he never wanted me to get involved with this lifestyle. But once he saw that I was involved with it, he gave me the game on it.
Okay.
He gave me the game on it because it was more like, I can't blindside you and watch you get hurt out here. So let me give you the game so you'll know how to protect yourself.
Right.
Because it's real out here. So he gave me the game on it, man, and I used to go inside my brother's room. My brother had locks in his room, so I used to know how to pop the lock. And I used to just grab the guns and just throw them out the window. So I always had access to these guns.
You throw it out the window.
And throw it out the window.
It didn't go off, did it, when you threw it out the window?
you better not have one in the chamber. Yeah, so we used to, we used to throw them out the window and pass them, to the people that out there. Hey, man. So then that's how we used to do it. So I used to have access to a lot of weapons that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's, that was a way that we had,
Do you regret any of it?
To be honest with you, I can sit and say I do, but the reality of it is, I really don't regret nothing I ever done.
Yeah.
I really don't. I don't regret nothing I ever done.
Because when we were first talking, even at 15, you're in the club, okay? But you didn't start nothing. They came to you.
Facts.
You were basically acting in self-defense, but then they'll say, well, it was premeditated because you went to get it and retrieve it and didn't just leave. I guess that's how it went, how they would have said that it went. But the way you said it, they left you no choice. They coming on like Wyatt Earp, and you had to defend. You had to stand up.
And that's one thing I tell people. People sometimes be like, man, why you don't regret? I say, I can't regret nothing, because at the end of the day, if I regret something, I regret jumping off the porch, getting in these streets. That's what I regret. I can't regret what happened that night, because if we in these streets and we playing the street ball, it's rules to the streets. You trying to hurt me, right? So I got to try to hurt you too. But the most important thing is, if I'm not doing nothing to you, I'm not going to sit here and let you harm me. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to protect myself by all means necessary. And that night, I protected myself by all means necessary. It was over 30-something years ago. I never in my life, and this might sound harsh when I say this, I never had a dream about this. I never thought about this. I never had memories of this. To this day, it's like something of the past until I speak about it.
You've been listening to The Other Side with Dwayne Caraway. Thank you for joining us. Tune in next time for more great guests, insightful conversation, a little bit of humor, and a whole lot of truth on The Other Side with Dwayne Caraway.